The fortress that marked the eastern border of the Iloberis latifundium sat high above the ancient Jewish town of Granada. It was perched on a ridge so steep that Theo wondered, as he rode down the descent, how men had ever come to build it, let alone how any would dare attack it. Theo had never seen such country as they had ridden through on their way to Iloberis. It was like voyaging into a secret land where old legends came to life and mystery lay around every corner. They had crossed the desert wastes beyond Orariola only to find themselves in a land first of caves carved into steep red rock from which unseen eyes watched them pass. Then had come the fierce mountains, steeper and more labyrinthine than any route Theo had previously travelled. His dreams, always vivid, had become disturbing since they entered those closed passes. The land gave up its secrets reluctantly, revealed in a series of folds, each more magnificent than the last, whilst his dreams seemed to hint at things hidden. His horse picked its way down the steep track. In the rose dew of dawn, the earth smelled wild and dusty, the scent of dry ground reinvigorated by night moisture. A spiderweb glistened before him, and Theo paused, reluctant to ride through its delicate tapestry. How beautiful! Athanagild drew to a halt beside him, admiring the pattern. It is a pity Loni is not here. She would love this. She would. Theo suppressed a pang of sadness. His little sister was 2, the same age Theo himself had been when his uncle Laurentius had sailed from Spanish shores. Theo had not known him when Laurentius returned. He could not imagine Egilona's face not lighting with joy when he picked her up, being confronted with the blank courtesy of a sister who knew him no more than the sailors who docked in their port. And what of Athanagild? Theo looked at the tall, thin figure of his brother, riding slightly apart. His deep, auburn head gleamed in the growing sunlight as he pulled a leaf from a tree in passing, examining it so closely he was nearly swept from his horse by another branch. Athanagild was so quiet, he sometimes seemed lost in the raucous company of his father and brothers. Theo worried for him, too, entering the monastery at Toletum. And yet, Theo felt the pull of distant shores like a siren call. At night, when he thought of the stories Laurentius told of Constantinople, of battles fought on foreign soil, Theo yearned for the adventure so much that he could already feel the deck of the Drommon beneath his feet and smell the sea salt. Theo spurred his horse onward to catch Shukra. The small Persian man had fought abroad alongside his uncle Laurentius since the two were boys together. Barely a decade older than Theo, he had seen enough of battle to command respect, but retained the youthful demeanour that made him confidant rather than guardian. He was accompanying Theo to Iloberis and then on to the fleet. "You will miss them, no? Your family." Shukra watched Theo with the uncanny perception to which Theo had become accustomed in the days they had ridden together. "Yes," he said quietly, "I will. It is hard to leave those we love. Many times you will want to return, Azizam. It is the same for all men. I know my duty. I hope to prove worthy of Laurentius's faith in me." Ha! Shukra, Theo had learned, was at times shockingly irreverent. "What duty do you think of?" "To Spania." Theo met his eyes. "To the fleet. To the mission you and Laurentius have laboured to set in motion." He paused. "And to my wife, of course."